I'm about to get into some spring cleaning in 60 Cycle Hum Studios back there, also known as the garage. And I thought it would be fun to give a tour of where I've been making all these videos all these years, where I've been making my living. So let's go. So to get into the studio, you pass through the laundry room here. I call it the airlock because it's got double doors, which sometimes helps keep the noise down, but not as much as it should. Here we go. Here is the set. Here is the studio. There is my garage door opener, proving that this, yes, is a garage. There's my garage door. This whole situation here is a false wall that I built to have this set. Mostly I was trying to block the heater ducts here. I didn't want that as part of the set, obviously. Behind this wall, I've got storage for guitar cases, the bane of my existence. Everyone's like, oh man, how come this guitar doesn't come with a case? I hate it when they come with cases because they just sit back here empty. There's guitars in a couple of these that I'm just storing long term, but man, just cases and cases and cases. It never ends. There's a wooden Elias surfboard that I made probably a decade or so ago. Impossible. I don't know how people surf those things. They're really, really hard. But I've got a lot of storage around here. This thing is full of all my tools and cables and parts and power supplies and every other doodad you could imagine. Storage down through these IKEA things through here. I've got more storage next to the water heater with all sorts of box and cases and pedal boards and multi-effects. And man, I need to clear this stuff out. I'm getting way too much stuff in here. It's getting ridiculous. One of my lights, obviously. What else do we have? Let's look at the table. Let's look at the surface where I do most of my work. All my work really. I'm pretty dang proud of this rigging that I have here. You can see the camera is connected to this arm, going down connected to the table. This is actually it's a monitor stand for like computer monitors. You can get these pretty cheap off of Amazon. It just clamps to the table, long arm here. I can adjust it and put it where I want to. And I made a little piece of wood to connect the monitor mount here to a camera mount. And that's how I get my overhead shots. I've also got this light here, which gives me a nice little splash of highlights on the edge of pedals and stuff when I'm filming them down here. And I've got my Zoom H8. All the audio that I record on this channel for demos gets recorded into this guy right here. Fancy pants stuff. I'm not running into computers. I'm not running into any sort of processing. I'm just recording the audio with microphones into a field recorder. Here is my overhead microphone. It's just a Shure SM57 with a great big piece of foam on it. It sits right above my head when I'm sitting here and is not in a shot. Just throw a compressor on there. It gets everything. And it always sounds good. I never even have to adjust the EQ or anything like that. I mean, I probably could adjust the EQ and sound a little bit better, but whatever. It's been working and working well for a long time. What else can I show you in here? There's Brian. Hi, Brian. This is where Brian sits. He just kind of hangs out here looking over things. I always figure that if anyone broke into the garage, tried to steal stuff, they'd have to tangle with Brian and he'd show them what's what. There's his original hands sitting here on the shelf. They're very delicate, as you can see. Some fingers already broke and keeping the tips in a plastic bag. I need to put them in like a velvet lined box or something. That's why I replaced his hands for travel. This is the wall that I stare at while I'm recording. All the other guitars that you don't see on the set tend to live here unless they're somewhere else in the house. Also got pick guards and all sorts of other little doodads around here. Bunch of Dinosaur Ghost masks all accumulating over here. Those aren't even the current ones. This is my cabinet of pedal boxes. I hold on to all of these really just in case I'm gonna sell something, and I do sell things like all the time. And you gotta have the box if you're gonna sell things, right? And I've also got a fake plant back here, music stand, all of my other stands and stuff. Like this space right here, I could really max this space out a little bit more and get some better storage going on in that corner. I kind of don't want to store more stuff though. I want to make room and have room for activities instead of room to just store things indefinitely. Another place to store things right there. What else? There's the decider wheel right here. Just kind of lives off to the side. Is there anything else people want to know about in here? More storage here. I keep this full of pedals because, of course, pedals and pedals and pedals and pedals until you get down here. And it's pickups. That's the pickup drawer because, of course. Here's all my surfboards. Most of them anyways. This is a longboard that I bought probably 25 years ago. It's been my main board for a long time. It is an Iron Cross, and it looks like a rotten banana with all its little yellow bits and stuff. This is one that I shaped. It's an 8-foot long longboard. It's 8-foot longboard. Here is the first surfboard that I shaped. It's super duper weird. This is the weirdest board ever, but it rips. Like, this board loves to go fast on big waves. Here is a fish style surfboard that I made. It's a twin fin, and here's a shortboard that I had custom made for me back when I was in college. I've also got a blank up here that hangs from the ceiling. When I lost the garage to the set, I lost the space where I shaped surfboards. So I already had this blank, and someday I'm gonna shape a surfboard out of this. I don't know if it's gonna happen in this garage. I might even just take it to someone and be like, hey, you shape this for me. I don't have a place to do it anymore. But it is an old piece of Clark foam. And yeah, I'm excited to shape it someday, or to have it shaped into something. It's got 2 stringers in it. I don't have any surfboards with 2 stringers, so I've been very curious to know what that feels like. Get around the corner here. I've got a Wavestorm Costco $99 foam board here for the kids and for lazy summer days sorts of things, and boogie boards and all that. And here is the garage. This is the other side of that false wall. This is where I do handy guy stuff, dad stuff. It's also where, you know, I'm gonna be sanding off all the spots from this Jaguar here. I might have already published that video by the time I publish this. I've got a drill press down there. It's a mess. You know how garages are. Most of us make a mess in our garages, and I'm no exception. Got a board I pulled out of a trash can here. I keep trying to convince myself to do things with, sitting on my surfboard shaping stand that is cluttered with things all around it. So there you go. This is where I've been hanging out, making videos, making content, making a living for the past 6 or 7 years or something like that. I moved down here. I was upstairs in an indoor room until my daughter came around. So yeah, about 6 years. I've been down here in the garage, slowly working on the space, just packing more and more stuff into it. This isn't even all this stuff. This is fairly well cleaned out right now. I've got a lot of stuff sitting in the house right now. And I need to get more organized. I need to get a bunch of stuff stowed. I need to clean up in here. I need to replace the carpet. That carpet has worn thin from Steve and I rolling all over it with cheap office chairs for the past 6 years. I might even do a fresh coat of paint. I don't know. I might rearrange things. Big tweaks, little tweaks, I don't know. What do you think? Was it what you expected?